Hey everybody, this week on Outside the Boards we're going to be talking about junior hockey, kind of diving into the day-to-day life, what the hockey is like, living situations. I think what you'll notice is that junior hockey is super situational. It really depends on the region you're in, the team you play for, the organization. All that stuff changes people's experiences. But the truth is you'll hear a lot of different stories from junior hockey players, but you'll also hear a lot of similarities in those stories. In Connecticut, we had a little bit of community support, not a lot, just a little bit from our gym. In Willmar, the support was huge. And you know, it is Minnesota, it is the hockey state. We had a lot of sponsorships, a lot of local places wanting to buy us dinner, all this stuff. So just right away, there's a huge difference in just the region that you're in. In Connecticut, I lived with 5 other players on my team. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment and there were 6 of us. So 2 guys a room. It really wasn't that bad. We had a great time. We were great friends. We had probably half the team living in this apartment complex, so we were just hanging out all the time. It's super common to live in apartments or housing on your own out east. Some teams will have billets, but just not a lot of people are billeting out there. In Willmar, I lived with the Billet family. They were awesome. I mean, I still talk to them. I still see them when I can. They came to a lot of my college games, and I lucked out. You hear a lot of nightmarish billeting stories, both players and billets. And billeting, I really enjoyed just because they were a family that were able to kind of connect me with people in the community. I made other friends through them, and I hung out with my billet brother all the time, played a lot of mini hockey with him and all that kind of stuff. And now to go into the day-to-day life, it's not crazy different. Just the schedules are different and totally depends on the team that you play for, the rink and their ice time. In Willmar, our schedule was a little earlier, so we would skate at 9 a.m. We'd get off the ice, grab a snack, and you go work out at 11:30 or noon, somewhere in there, and then you'd be done probably around 2. And you know, again, you have a lot of downtime. In Willmar, we did a lot of fundraisers or events where we go into schools and read or whatever it was. So that kept us pretty busy as well. I took classes my first year at an online community college, and you know, it ended up helping a lot, but that's pretty common for players to take some classes. In Willmar, I had a job. So my first year I had school, my second year I had a job. So I only worked a few hours a week, but you know, that kind of filled up some of that time that I had. Travel can be a lot depending on the league that you play in, or it can be really small. In the East Coast, a lot of teams are so close together that the travel, it really isn't too bad. And it actually, for me, the travel was very similar in the East Coast as it was in the NA3 West Division, because the teams are pretty close together. Often travel about 2 hours to a game, 2 hours back. For us, we would play Friday, Saturday in the NA3. In the East Coast, it's pretty common to play Saturday, Sunday. Now I'll actually talk about the hockey. For me, in the EHL and the NA3, the hockey wasn't too drastically different. The EHL, I would say, was generally better hockey players as an overall. I mean, from top line to the fourth line, all players could really play. In the NA3, a little bit more scattered just because you have a lot of young players playing in those leagues. Both of them are pretty similar style of hockey though. Very fast, very physical, at least in the NA3 West Division. Again, it can, you know, you can play in the NA3 in Nashville or wherever, and it could be completely different. Willmar, we were getting a lot of fans. You know, there's a lot of people at the games. You'd go play teams like Alexandria, Granite City, and I mean, those rinks are packed. You know, they shut the lights off, fog machines, like it's all fun. It's exciting. It makes what hockey is about. Coming from the year before where you have nobody in the stands. I mean, a lot of times it's completely empty. And, you know, there'll be scouts there just because the East Coast, there's a lot of colleges or whatever it is. But, you know, it was tough at times to get motivated, ready to play those games. And again, that's just the regional thing. And it's totally personal opinions, but for me, I just love playing in Minnesota. Now going into Derek's story, Derek played in the NA for the Janesville Jets, and then he went to play for the Lincoln Stars in the USHL. The NA, a step up from Tier 3. They'll often have billets. They really won't have apartments. Those communities are typically bigger. And then in the USHL, those are the big ones, right? Those are the big communities. They're usually in bigger cities. They have, big games, packed houses. Derek's schedule was very similar in both places, in Janesville and in Lincoln. He woke up around 8, he'd have breakfast, he'd go work out at 9 a.m., have lunch, then they'd go practice at 1 p.m., and then, stretch, video, whatever else for the rest of the day. So it's very similar to my schedule in Willmar. I think that's pretty standard junior hockey schedule. So you have a lot of downtime. His game day schedule is very similar to mine in Willmar as well. Wake up at 9, pregame skate at 10:30, have a lunch, take a pregame nap, pregame meal at 4, and then you're at the rink at 5 and you're ready to play. And he has lighted up at 7 p.m. So the biggest differences, it sounds like, in the NA and the USHL are the game day atmospheres. And it's, it sounds more like Janesville is like Willmar. The NA3 West is a little bit similar to the NA in kind of the game day atmospheres. There's a decent amount of fans, but their rinks are smaller. Pretty good atmosphere, but the USHL is really, it's huge. It's just, it's like a professional game, like a minor league game. The rinks are bigger, crowds are packed.
Chase the puck, I guess.
Thank you for watching Outside the Boards with me, Jacob at North End Hockey. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to our YouTube page or follow us on Instagram to see more videos like this one. If interested in learning more about North End Hockey, check out our website, northendhockey.com. Thanks for watching.